The 10 youngest billionaires in the world. Of the 2,095 billionaires in the world, only 10 are under 30. Together, this precocious bunch is worth over $30 billion. They span the globe, hailing from the US, Brazil, Germany, Hong Kong, Ireland, and Norway. But today, we look at the latest entrant to the list of cremes de la creme of moneymakers, the youngest ones, of course. So, if you're in the mood to draw some inspiration, sit tight and grab a glass of red wine, and let's get started. Welcome back to our channel. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so that you get notified every time we upload a new video. Number 10. Pedro de Godoy Bueno, net worth $1.1 billion. At age 29, Pedro de Godoy Bueno is Brazil's youngest billionaire. He is CEO of Brazilian laboratory firm Diagnostics da America S.A. His late father, Edson de Godoy Bueno, was Brazil's richest healthcare billionaire. His sister, Camila de Godoy Bueno Grassi, is also a billionaire. Edson died of a heart attack in 2017 at age 73 and left most of his fortune to his children, Pedro and Camilla. His father's first wife, Dulce Puglisi de Godoy Bueno, co-founded the healthcare firm Amil and is also a billionaire. Pedro, who became CEO of DASA at age 24, married his longtime partner, Herman Hoffman, in 2018 at the Gavea Golf Club, a posh Rio de Janeiro club. Number 9. Wang Zilong, net worth $1.9 million. Wang Zilong makes his debut as the third youngest in the overall Forbes World Billionaires list and the youngest in all of Asia at 24 years old. The billionaire's fortune arises from the stakes in CNNC Huayan Titanium Dioxide Company, a chemical company that trades on the Shenzhen Stock Exchange. He also has stakes in Le Monde Billions Group, another company that produces titanium dioxide in China. Number 8. Timur Tulov, net worth $2.1 billion. Thanks to his experience in international investment, Timur Tulov amassed a fortune as CEO and founder of Freedom Holding. This Kazakhstan-based retail brokerage operates in Central Asia, Europe, and the U.S. The company specializes in IPOs and gives post-Soviet citizens access to U.S., Russian, and European stock exchanges. The 33-year-old billionaire started the company in 2008, even before finishing college with just $100,000 pooled with his co-founders. The company entered the U.S. in 2015 through a shell of a Kazakh oil and gas exploration entity located in Nevada. Freedom Holding began trading on the NASDAQ in 2019, an event that Turlov calls his proudest accomplishment to date. Number 7. Jonathan Kwok, net worth $2.4 billion. The youngest billionaire in Asia on last year's list, Jonathan Kwok is the younger son of late property tycoon Walter Kwok. The 29-year-old inherited a portion of his stake from his late father's Sun Hung Kai Properties, SKHP, the largest property developer in Hong Kong. After his father's death, Jonathan and his brother Jeffrey took over Empire Group Holdings, which Walter started before leaving SHKP. Jonathan is also named beneficiary of 1/3 of 5 large family trusts held by their grandmother Kwang Si-hing in SHKP. Walter was ousted as chairman of Sun Hung Kai in 2008 as the result of a feud with his brothers Thomas and Raymond Kwok. He then started property developer Empire Group Holdings, which Jonathan and Jeffrey now run. Number 6. Austin Russell, net worth $2.4 billion. Austin Russell is the co-founder and CEO of Luminar, which is an autonomous vehicle sensor and software company. An optics prodigy, Russell dropped out of Stanford University in 2012 after receiving $100,000 from Thiel Fellowship to start Luminar Technologies, which makes sensors and other tech for autonomous vehicles. Its sensors now help self-driving cars of such customers as Volvo and Toyota by bouncing laser beams off nearby objects in vehicles' surroundings. Luminar went public through a SPAC merger in December 2020. Russell owns about 1/3 of the company. Following Luminar's listing on NASDAQ, Russell became the world's youngest self-made billionaire at age 25. Luminar competes with laser LiDAR makers like Velodyne and Ava, which make high-tech sensors to help self-driving vehicles see their surroundings. Number 5. Andy Fang, net worth $2.8 billion. DoorDash co-founders Andy Fang, 28, and Stanley Tang, also 28, each own 4.2% of the company. DoorDash's last funding round before going public raised $400 million in operating capital and valued the startup at $16 billion. The IPO pricing was set to value DoorDash at somewhere between $23 billion and $32 billion. As of today, the company has a market cap of $46 billion. Fang grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area, where he attended the Harker School, graduating in 2010. He has a bachelor's degree in computer science from Stanford University. Number 4, Stanley Tang, net worth $2.8 billion. Stanley Tang is a co-founder and head of labs at San Francisco-based restaurant delivery app DoorDash. As you can see, his net worth is the same as that of Andy Fang, the company's co-founder. Tang owns about 4.2% of DoorDash, which went public on the New York Stock Exchange in early December 2020. He also doubles as the chief product officer at the company. After years of struggle, the business grew rapidly, expanding across the U.S. and into Canada and Australia, but it received an unexpected boost last year as the coronavirus pandemic kept people away from restaurants instead of ordering food on their smartphones. Total revenue in the 9 months ended September 30th, 2020 was $1.9 billion compared with $587 million in the same period last year. The company's second quarter was the first profitable one in its history. Number 3, Kevin David Lehman, net worth $3.3 billion. At just 18 years of age, Kevin David Lehman owns 50% of Germany's leading drugstore chain DM, Drogerie Market, which brings in over $12 billion in annual revenue. The company got its start in 1973 when Götz Werner opened his first shop in Karlsruhe, Germany. Today, DM has some 3,700 locations. In 1974, Kevin David Lehman's father, Gunther, then running his family's Pfannkuchen grocery chain, invested in DM. Gunther transferred ownership of his 50% DM stake to Kevin David in 2017. Neither Kevin David nor his father have been operationally involved in DM. Little is known about the two of them. Number 2, Zhu Yi, net worth $3.4 billion. 31-year-old Zhu Yi is the founder and president of Bilibili, one of China's largest media businesses. It hosts videos on various themes including animation, music, dance, science, and technology, movies, drama, fashion, and video games. Zhu Yi created the prototype for the website in just 3 days after graduating college. In 2010, he launched the website with the company's current name. He then founded a startup, Hangzhou Hundian Technology, in 2011 to manage the development and operation of Bilibili. Number 1, Sam Bankman-Fried, $8.7 billion. 29-year-old Bankman-Fried built his massive crypto fortune at an astonishing speed, having launched both trading firm Alameda Research, which manages $2.5 billion in assets, and crypto derivatives trading platform FTX. Bankman-Fried embraces a philosophy called effective altruism. His goal is to make as much money as he can so he can give away as much as possible. In 2020, he gave $5 million to a pro-Biden super PAC, making him one of the president's biggest donors. The 29-year-old started to attract attention a few years ago when Alameda began regularly appearing at the top of a leaderboard of trading performance on the BitMEX exchange. Alameda soon became one of the biggest crypto traders worldwide by focusing on arbitrage and other strategies that often profited from pricing discrepancies. I'm always happy when people focus more on the products, but I'm also honored by a lot of the support that our team and I have been focused on recently, Bankman-Fried, who is based in Hong Kong, wrote in an email. There you have it. You now know who your youngest billionaires are, their age, and net worth.